May 26, 2024, and Roger and I are headed up to Parker Lake. Parker's a lake that's known for its brook trout and large brown trout. It used to be one of those places that was sort of a secret back in the day, but not a secret anymore. And it's pretty crowded today with hikers and fishers. Definitely not a secret anymore. So as I said, Parker's a pretty popular place. There've been about probably about a dozen people that have started the hike since we pulled up. It's a fairly easy hike. I think it's about an hour to get in there, a mile and a half, something like that. Parker Lake is in the Eastern Sierra, just north of Grant Lake. It's accessed via Highway 395. It's a 5.5-hour drive from the San Francisco Bay Area using Sonora Pass and a 5-hour drive using Tioga Pass. The hike starts at 7,800 feet and raises to an elevation of 8,300 feet. It's approximately 1.8 miles. The hike takes 45 minutes to an hour. Now, this is definitely one of the more beautiful hikes in the area, in my opinion. We're going to go up over this little rise here, and then we'll follow the stream quite a ways, and then it'll pitch up towards the lake. Now, I would rate this as a low intermediate hike. It's fairly easy, fairly short, but it does have some pitches, and it is at altitude. A couple years ago, when we went into Algier Lakes, we came up on this side of that ridge and then worked our way back and went over that saddle. So on the opposite end of this is Yosemite National Park. The trail flattens out and it rolls for a little bit, and that's why I say it's sort of a, low intermediate trail, good for beginners. Now, today's trek is a little bit lower in elevation than what we did yesterday. I've still got the same shirt that I was wearing yesterday, which is a 150 weight icebreaker wool. It's hot on the hike up, but once we get to the lake and the winds come up, it'll be just right. I'm wearing some Fall Raven pants, which are really meant for fall and winter hiking. So it works well in the early season. The temps today, air temps when we got out of the car, were about 45, but now that we're hiking in the sun, it feels like it's probably high 50s. One of the great things about these Fall Raven pants is they've got vents on the side, so that if I get too hot, I can just open up the vents. There are 4 vents. One on each thigh and then one on each calf. And we finally come to the creek. It's a pretty nice little stream. some rising fish there. We've arrived at the lake. Sunto put it at 59 minutes. There are obviously some rising fish there in the shallows, but we're going to start our fishing on the far side of the lake and then work our way around. It's a popular lake, and so it stands to reason that the most fished areas are the ones closest to the trail. So Roger's heading down at the other side of the lake. We're seeing active fish here, so I've decided to stop. I mean, they're not huge, 12 inches maybe, but yeah, they are certainly active. So I figured I'd give this a shot. There we go. There's a fish right there. Not huge, but who knows? Could be bigger fish in here. They're certainly active, so maybe I can fish a dry fly. Now, these fish are really active right now, but in the 20 minutes it's going to take me to get my rod out and get it ready, who knows? So today I'm fishing a 5 weight. Typically I fish a 4 weight. This is a 5, and the reason I'm fishing a 5 is because I'm going to be fishing heavier flies. This is based on a Payne 200 taper. It's an 8'5", and obviously it's a 3-piece. I'm fishing a Hardy lightweight with a 5 weight double taper line because I am going to be fishing a really large fly later. But right now, in the interest of time, I am just going to take whatever is on my leader, which is probably 4X, maybe 5X. I'm going to throw a dry fly on, and I'm going to see if I can catch some of these fish. Now, unfortunately, my rod tip has been sort of hanging over the water a little bit, and these fish are right on the bank, so that might spook them. And yeah, I don't see any rising in front of me anymore. We'll see. Now, I think these fish are probably on midges. Oh, wait a minute, what's that? I see a big something. I don't see any fish interested in it, though. I'm going to be fishing my cripple caddis, just because it's a good searching pattern. There we go. Whatever that big thing was, it took it. So, and that's the only one of that size that I've seen. So my guess is they're going to be a little opportunistic. We shall see. But that was a bigger fish, and he came right from in this, shadow here. Now, big in this lake. I mean, these fish can get up to 23 inches. I've caught 17-inch fish here. So, you know, what I've got in front of me for this lake is tiny. But you know what? It's not often that I get a chance to fish a dry to rising fish, so that's what I'm gonna do. And they're not terribly small, some of them. Okay, so, oh yeah, I see a few bigger. I'm not sure what that is, but there are a few bigger things in here. Okay, and I've got this tightline dry fly desiccant, which is super old school. I don't think you can find this stuff anymore. And so I am going to use it sparingly and recycle it. Okay, so you can see there's a bunch of smaller fish that are right in here now. There was a bigger fish that was cruising in here earlier. Oh, I might have spooked it. I haven't seen him come up. And I don't see him anymore. Yeah, a bunch of small... Oh, there he is. There's a bigger fish. Where'd he go? He's right there. Which way did he go? I can't see him. I don't know where he went. Oh, but there's one right there. I don't have much. Here he comes. And survey says yes. Ah! Thought I waited long enough. I guess not. Now what I really need is a shorter rod under these trees. Oh, rejected. Why? Is he gonna come back around? Yes, he is. Took it. Wait, there we go. Oh, rejected. Why? Is he gonna come back around? Yes, he is. Took it. Wait, there we go. That's not a terrible fish. It's like... That's a nice sized brownie. That's better than nice. That was a nice fish. Looks like the rises have slowed a bit. Let's see if I can get into some more. Okay, I'm seeing a bunch of stuff on the water now. And like I said, the rises have slowed, so I'm not seeing the fish pick them up. Oh, there's some over there. I've got my waders today, so if I need to, I will put my waders on and work my way out there. Oh, there's a fish. Which direction is he going? He's going this way. And not interested. Where did he go? I think I need to put more fly floating on. Yeah, I need to put more floating on because I can't see my fly. Okay, there's a fish within count. Oh, he's moving out. But maybe he'll come back in. There we go. That's where he's been popping his head up. I'll just leave that there. See what happens. That sounds like a good fish. It sounds. it might behoove me to hide again and let the fish come back under this shade. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make one cast out there, and then I'm going to sit back on the bank, let the fish come back over here, and then sight fish for them. Roger's got his waders on, and I think I might do that just so I can get out a little bit farther. The fish have stopped cruising close to this tree. They are a little bit out. They are within casting range if I put my waders. Oh, and just as I said that, just as I moved away from the bank, a nice brown came up, and there he is. Okay. Let's see if I can get him. Where'd he go? He's right there. I can't tell. I can't see him from here. Can't tell which direction he's going. Oh, there's one right there. I got these trees to worry about. I'll put it right there. Where'd he go? And I'm not seeing him. False alarm. I think so. Bummer. You can see all the little brown, whatever it is. I might put on, yeah, you know what? Maybe I'll put on an ant. Before I sit down and eat, I'm just checking up the bank a little bit. See if I can see any cruising fish. I want to sit and eat, but the fish are active. Unfortunately, they're too far out. Like that one right there. It came up from who knows where and went who knows where. Okay. Let's just do a few prospecting casts. Okay, there's a fish there. That's maybe not far enough out. Now earlier they were cruising just under the surface. Now they seem to be jetting up from the bottom, which makes it hard to anticipate where they're going to be. Which also means that I should probably put on a nymph. See where that landed. I think that one's. Here we go. Okay. I'm gonna go eat, And then maybe I'll fish a nymph later. Okay, so I've eaten and put my waders on. The rises have pretty much all but stopped. I did take a look at what was floating around in the water, and I'm not quite sure what it is. I guess it could be a big midge. I'm going to have to do some investigation. Its wings are folded flat along the back, but they're not uniform in shape. They're almost like, it's almost as if a caddis folded its wings along its back. And so, yeah, I don't know what it is. So, yeah, I'll have to do some investigation. But I'm gonna work my way a little bit up the bank to see if there are any cruising fish. And then if not, then I'm gonna put on some nymphs. Just because the fish aren't rising anymore doesn't mean that they're not here. So, yeah, we'll see how that goes. So it looks like Roger's got a fair bit of company over there. Like I said, you know, this place used to be kind of a secret spot, but now it's kind of more like your community pool. So it, you know, it is worth the sacrifice for the big fish. If you manage to hook into some of those big fish, it's a good place to bring a float tube. You can see people with float tubes and boats. Okay, so there were some fish that were still working up here. So I'm going to go up here. I've put on the gold ribbed hare's ear, the beadhead, gold ribbed hare's ear, and the midge from yesterday. Kept the midge on basically because I'm a little lazy right now. I may take that off and put on a black ant. I don't want to get too far from my bags and stuff, just because this place is a little bit crowded. So I'm just gonna quickly come through here, fan cast. I'm not gonna go too deep. And I'm just gonna go bump all the way back to my bag. And then I think I've screwed around here long enough. I'm gonna go down to where Roger is, get into some deeper water, and put on a heavier fly. Well, the rises and the cruising has pretty much stopped. I put on a peacock Rickard's AP nymph. I try to imitate those midges, but yeah, I'm not seeing any fish anymore. So I'm just kind of making a cast, taking a step, making another cast, taking a step, making another cast until I get back to my pack, and then I'm gonna grab my pack and head down over to Roger. Certainly is a beautiful lake. Ooh, I probably should have fished that. No, that one's better. Well, no more luck over here, so I'm gonna go join Roger and see how he's been doing. And this is why I need to make myself a couple more 3-piece rods. Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna go up and out, go around this stuff. So I come over to where Roger is, and Roger's taking a break, and I've decided to put on a conehead muddler. I've got this conehead muddler that I fish for everything. It's caught bass, it's caught trout, it's caught catfish, and so I figure it's the perfect big fish fly. I give that a shot. I'm not getting out too far. Wind is in my face. We'll see how it goes. Okay, so I guess this is a good time to test this wind sleeve that I picked up. You can see the wind is in my face. This is a big heavy fly and I can barely get it out of the water. Catches wind. Come on. That's about as good as it's gonna get. maybe I'll do better casting across. Because at this point I'd have to have a fish willing to come right up to me to take this fly. Maybe that's a little better. That felt better. Nope. Not doing it. Oh, come on. Okay, I'm gonna fish that. Yeah, so I definitely should have brought my 6-weight line or my triangle taper to cast this thing with, because it is a bear to roll cast. I'll do some fast strips. And try it again. Here comes some more wind. So we just had a fish rise over there. Can't see which way he went, but Roger's gonna try to get him. And meanwhile, I'm looking through my box to see if I can find something that imitates those, whatever. I don't know if they were beetles or midges. I'm thinking midge, but the guy that was here, he caught 2 fish. The guy that was here on a float tube said they were beetles, and he's been coming here for quite a long time. So I'm heading back towards the outlet, staying high and looking down at the water for cruising fish or feeding fish. And if I see some, I'll go down and cast to them. I want to try the other side of the lake. The wind's picked up a little bit, so I thought I'd come over and check out the creek. Hopefully it's a little bit more protected from the wind. See if we can find any fish. Need a better approach though. Bink, bink, bink. Well, I'm not seeing anything that I would definitively say is a fish in here. So I think I'll just make a few prospecting casts, see what happens. Okay, so I'm getting some strikes from some really tiny fish. Barely see my flies. Well, maybe those 2 strikes is gonna be it. There we go. Ah! Okay, flies are drifting all the way down. They're swirling around and they're under. That was a solid drift. And I think they're under. They're on. Nope, they're not. but they're out of the current. And they're not doing anything. They've been sitting there for a little bit. Anything gonna come up and grab them? No. Okay. Maybe I'll try to put one right over there. I think they landed two. Nope, there they are. Nada. Okay. Let's try that again. That's not where I wanted it, but I'll let them drift. No. That went a little bit hard. Oh, it's drifting well though. Nada. Okay. Oh, there we go. Ah. Missed again. I've got a lot of line out, so. And the third time's a charm. No. No. Oh, doesn't look like it. Okay, let's try that again. I've got a bunch of strikes, but I haven't been able to hook any. I actually had a decent sized fish. I haven't fished that. I didn't see anything over there, but I didn't see anything over here anyway. But this water just looks so good. I just started prospecting. But no, I haven't hit this, and I haven't hit that over there. Okay, let's see, did they land okay? That is the question. I'll turn this off for now. So I had a ridiculously long leader on. I've changed that. Well, I haven't changed it. I cut it back about a foot. It's still ridiculously long for this stream, but gonna give it a shot. I don't want to take the time to swap out my leaders right now. And you know, I mean, these are tiny fish anyway, so it's not a huge deal. Roger's gone upstream. I'm going to move downstream a little bit and see if I can get closer to these fish that I was casting to. Try to get down in here. I'm kind of backlit now. Here we go. Squeeze down in here next to this tree. Whew. Okay. I had a few strikes come from right around here. But that bigger one came from right in here. Ah. Okay, so those are some really tiny fish that are going for these flies. Okay, now they're starting to drag. And they'll swing around and the tiny fish will come for them. Yeah, they're dragging now. Okay, let's throw a couple casts upstream. There we go. Is he on? Oh, he's actually on. No, he was on. I've gone downstream a little bit. And this looks like a solid run. See if I can get in here without getting too wet and spooking too many fish. And I'm hung up. Okay, still got some tiny fish in here. Yeah, see? Tiny fish. You got off? You got off, good. And I'm hung up again. I am hung up, but let's get the handy dandy honey badger. So I made some decent casts straight up the middle here. And nothing. A little drag. A little drag. Put it on top of that rock. That's a good drift. Nada. Put it on top of the... Put it on top of the rock again. Okay, time to move. So apparently Roger was standing behind me and then fishing downstream with me, and I didn't see him. So we're heading down the trail. We're both still rigged up, so maybe we'll throw a couple casts on the way back. Okay, this looks pretty killer. Not seeing any fish in here, so I'm going to start. I think I'm going to start in the middle. So, challenging casting situation here. Low brush in front of me. I've got this back here. I can't do a back cast. Can't really even do a roll cast. So what I'm doing is I'm going to let some line out. I'll let that go down a little bit in case there's a fish down here. And then I'm going to shoot it up, get a whole bunch of line in front of me, and then wave it back and forth, pause, and then fire it up. Wave it back and forth, pause, fire it up. And get more line out until I can get pretty decent distance. There we go, throw a mend in, and hope that does the trick. Nope. Yes? Ah! I was on a fish. Shoot. Okay. And there they are. I'm gonna say I can't see my flies. There they are. Okay. Oh, I'm hung up on something. There we go. There we go. I don't see any flies, which means they're not floating. There they are. Oh, there's one of them. Okay. What about on the other side there? No. No joy. That's a decent drift. Oh, missed it. Okay. So this is basically a Joe Humphreys cast, which I am not executing very well. I think I need to put some floating on my fly. Okay, well, I think I'm gonna head back to the car. That looks pretty killer right in there. One of these days, I'm gonna have to come back here and fish it properly. Well, I fooled around long enough, I guess. Roger's already headed back to the car under the pretense that he's going to be slower than me. I don't know if that's going to be the case or not. It's been a beautiful day in a beautiful place. There's Mono Lake. Almost back at the car, and my, what a traffic jam. Lots of folks trying to find a place to park up here. Back at the car. It was a really beautiful day. We had a great time out there. Not a lot of fast action, but it was nice to catch that one fish. It was fun fishing the creek. I really need to get back here and fish the creek proper. It was a beautiful day. John, if you're still watching this, it was nice to meet you. For the rest of you, if you're still watching this, thank you for that. I really appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed it, and thank you for coming along.